Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show episode 202. And in this one, we will be talking about the game against Oxford during the week and then obviously previewing tomorrow's game away at Sheffield United. As you can see with the background, we are going to go back, rewind a little bit to that game at Kenilworth Road during the week. Now, going into it, I said draw. Dad, you went for a high scoring game. It was a high scoring game. Very, very close on your prediction, to be fair. As for me, I got the outcome right. Not quite the score exactly, but yeah, the lineup going into it, it was Kaminsky in goal, Burke, McGuinness, and Mengi, so expected back three, including the keeper, Kraus and Nakamba. And then it seemed like we went with Moses on that right of the wing back, Doughty on the left, and then Clark on the right of the one up front, with obviously Brown and Elijah ahead. So same formation. It was going into it, and then the bench was Holmes, Johnson, Ruddock, Nelson, Shea, Taylor, Walsh, as we know, Walters, and Woodrow. So when you look at that, again, it's good attacking depth, but it's a bit frustrating that we've gone with the same thing, not even tweaked it up a little bit, going into this game. But I mean, quite interesting, in my opinion, that we did see Nakamba and Kraus alongside each other, because if we are to stick with this going forward, then they're the two that has to be like that for me, because they are the more defensive-minded one, and it also gives more cover because they are CDMs to the defenders as well, which hasn't helped in recent weeks because we've been getting overrun. People have been saying their thoughts on the defence. I don't think it's the defence itself. I think it's the midfield, the way it's been getting overrun. It's made it quite leaky for the defence itself. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. But other than that, I knew it'd be that. Front three in the sense of Brown and Elijah. I don't think I put Clark there from memory. I think I might have put Moses there, but still, other than that, you probably expect everything else there. But what did you make of when you saw the lineup there?
Yeah, we know it's not going to be changed. Let's be honest. I'll be surprised. I still think sometimes you've got to, because you have to have an alternative, But yeah, pretty much expected. Again, team on paper should be doing better. So yeah, it's the best lineup we could go with, considering like Morris was still out. We know Chong as well. So yeah, but still good paper to perform better than we did, basically. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, there was a few, one familiar face coming to Kenilworth Road. Obviously, Kioso. I know before the game he said that, he's looking forward to playing at Kenilworth Road again. And never forget that Man United game, to be honest. Yeah, we lost 3-0, but he was really good in that game. We were surprised with how rotational we went. We'll be honest, at time we was a bit surprised he was in, but he was the best player during that game. So, and we knew he was always going to cause a threat and have a point to prove to a certain extent. But yeah, moving on to the first half, it was one of them where, again, a really good first half. And this is the thing with us at the moment, right? We either have a really good first half or really good second half, or we have a spell where we go 2-0 down, 1-0 down. It's been like that since the majority of the Premier League. In the sense of we do that and then give ourselves a mountain to climb. We actually went 2-0 up in this game. Obviously, if you watch my watch along, I had the issues with Sky Sports Plus. Stupid. It says it's on there, but it's not on there. When I go to the info and it's got all the other teams, there's literally one gap, and it's not the Luton game, which it should have been. But anyway, I know Clark had a great chance before he scored. For me, he probably should have put it on target. It weren't a bad effort, but should have put it on target at least. But then he did redeem himself and score. Obviously, Kraus with the assist. looked very good in this game. It seemed like he was a bit higher up, Kraus, in this game, as much as he is that, CDM. It was good to see him higher up, having them opportunities. And we know for his time at Mainz, when we signed him, we looked at stuff with him, and we know he can score a lot of good goals. And he got the assist for Clark, who Clark again scores. I thought it was a much better game for him as a whole compared to Plymouth. But again, quite similar in the sense of a very good first half again from him. I mean, second half weren't terrible from him, but still, I don't know. I just feel if you are to play him, you've got to utilise him higher, because using him in that midfield, yes, he can do a job there, but it's not ideal, is it? You want to play him higher up. But yeah, obviously it went 1-0 up. And then Kraus scored. I don't know what their keeper was doing, but at the end of the day, we've capitalised on it. That's all I care about. Capitalising on their mistakes, unlike Plymouth's mistake at the back, where Elijah was one-on-one, for example. Capitalise on it. Kraus got off the mark. Hopefully, more of many, for him going forward. So really good start to the first half. Brown with the assist there, and Brown looked lively again in this game. And it's just, I just look at certain things, and like I said on the watch along, I felt the two in midfield was working that game because it's Kraus and Nakamba who are more defensive minded. But yeah, I mean, two great goals to start it off in the sense of capitalising on their mistakes, wasn't it? Though?
Yeah, the weather was all at this point out. Like, I know both teams had to play to it, but both teams made mistakes because of it. They did definitely. The first goal was brilliant. Like, Kraus was bombing forward. It was his tackle that won it for Clark. Consistency, could play from Moses as well, and Burke. And then, again for the second goal, Burke's involved, and you could see Rob Edwards pointing to pass it up there, and he did. Got a bit lucky with what the keeper was doing, but then at the end of the day, Brown, had the composure just to be calm, and then he could have passed it to Elijah, but pressure. Kraus come running in. He slipped a little bit, but it's still very good finish. And then obviously, I think after the first goal, they had a great chance. We're too easy to score against. You can see where the errors are coming from. Like the first chance, which then took a deflection, I think from Burke, and Kaminsky saved it. He shouldn't have been allowed that space, maybe, and that's where you can see it free at the back. It's not really working that much because we'd have had an extra man there to close him down, and then their equaliser, the geezer was running behind Clark, and then just got it. It was free in that position to get laid off again, and then just a brilliant finish. By the way, he's a good player. We'll probably end up signing him at some point. I wouldn't be surprised. Do you know what I mean? That wouldn't surprise me. And then but still, we wasn't playing with cohesion and togetherness and things like that. Do you know what I mean? It didn't feel like comfortable at any time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it wasn't terrible. And this is what I'm saying. You're playing crap and you go 2-0 up. This because we've got the quality players there. And at some point in time, they have to gel. Let's get into it quickly. Like Rob Edwards, although we've been saying about it, like it's going to change and this, that, and the other, the board have come out and said it ain't happening. I don't know if you've seen it, but they've come out and said it's not happening. I know some people were like, "Oh, it's about vote of confidence." Now it's not happening at this. They're pretty confident that he'll turn it around. And the fans can, moan and this, that, and the other, like we are, but because they've come out and said that now, for me, you got to back it. You got to back it, and give him that chance. If nothing changes, we know he's not going to probably change the formation. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, And like you said before, he could change it, and we could still, the players there can still perform better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that. So that's what's going to happen. It's not, So if we lose against Sheffield United and we lose against Watford, I can't. It's still not going to happen. Well, it's not. You know, if we're in a precarious position, Christmas time, then they won't have much choice because the fans do ultimately, do the talking. And the worst, there's still a lot of people backing him. We're just more frustrated with how it's gone, and we're looking at certain things, which patterns, goals we're conceding and just stuff like that, and we want him to try something else. You know what I mean? To see if it works. If he tries it, it doesn't work, then you know what I mean? At least he's tried it.
Exactly. And that's what I said on the stream at just done, yeah.
And I watched Oxford before this game, and they're well drilled. Do you know what I mean? They're up for it. And that's how we used to be. We're not at that at the moment. We've got a real if they all gel together, and we said it at the beginning, didn't we? But it's just carried on and carried on. Once they start scoring, once this, but it's just not happening. But if it did happen, we would be excellent. Do you know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. And I'll try and look at the season in League One, where we got promoted to League One. We started off pretty slow. I remember watching the graph for that afterwards, the live sort of graph after the season ended, and we were like down there, and then all of a sudden we just went bang, 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 bang. Do you know what I mean? And just started rising up the table. Let's see what happens. But yeah, it wasn't quite there. The weather was terrible. I thought at one point it might get called off. Do you know what I mean? A couple of years ago that would have, because drainage system and stuff like that probably wouldn't have been up to scratch like it is now. It only just copes with it. It was dangerous as well at times. And it does affect the game. It does, of course it does. You can't say that it doesn't. It does for both teams, but it did, And we still got a result, which is, crazy really. We've got we've lost 1 in 4 or something in reality. So I've seen worse, a lot worse. Do you know what I mean? But I can see the pockets of good play. The players are generally good enough. Elijah's just terribly at the moment. It's not terrible, but he's just not. He's so lacking confidence and things like that. That's where I would make the change. I'd put someone alongside him. Do you know what I mean? Just to get confident, just so he can start scoring and whatever, gets confidence up, and then you can switch back to whatever. It's not that deep. You play 3 forward anyway, so just you know what I mean. But we'll see. But I don't think it's going to change. I'll be surprised if it does. Pleasantly surprised, but yeah. And then obviously their goal, half time, and we always concede at silly times as well.
Yeah.
After we scored this first one, I think, and then, do you know what I mean? And then, just patterns that keep happening. And, be looking at, and they say they're looking at this and looking at that, but it doesn't seem to be changing. And not everyone, there's always someone or a couple of players who just don't play as well as they should. And then the next game they play all right, and then someone else. Do you know what I mean? It's not that consistent, and relegation does hurt a lot of teams, man. We haven't been relegated for a very, very long time, really. Do you know what I mean? And that does hurt teams. It does affect them. I've seen plenty of teams come around from the Premier League and go straight back down again. I think I've seen Wolves do it before. Look,
Sunderland do it.
Sunderland, yeah. There's plenty of teams that drop too, and we won't do that because the board will act at some point, and they believe in it. They obviously believe in it because there was, there moments in the Premier League where we were playing the same system in a higher division. So we just look a bit. We just need to be a force, make teams scared of us, punish them teams.
We need to bring back that home form at Kenilworth Road. That's another thing. I know we're not at home tomorrow, but going forward, especially the next game.
Yeah, that Plymouth game, for instance, like the amount of chances that we that we could capitalise on is crazy, and that would have just knocked their confidence. But because we didn't take them chances, it gave them that more impetus and confidence, and that's what's happening to us at the moment. And we've got a very tough game tomorrow. So yeah, That's what I'll say on first half goals and that.
Yeah, good room. Again, I said about it, didn't I, in the preview that we got to watch out for him, and it was a great goal. Yeah, again, how many times do we say it? Kaminsky couldn't have done anything. That was an unbelievable goal. But yeah, it was one of them where I felt, well, the next goal's massive, obviously. If we get it, we go on to win. If they get it, game on. And obviously they made it game on in the second half. Obviously, did get the equaliser. Now, yes, this goal was so frustrating for me. I felt we could have defended it much better, especially the way it squared across. It's too easy for them to score, in my opinion. But they were coming at us. They were having chances. Bit of controversy. Should they have had a penalty? They had great chances. Kaminsky was unbelievable. I think they should have had a penalty personally. Kaminsky was unbelievable in the game. Triple save. Didn't he do a double save in the first half as well? He did, didn't he?
Yeah. We were unlucky. They were unlucky they didn't get a win. That's it.
Yeah. If I'm an Oxford fan, I'm gutted coming out of Kenilworth Road that
it's a good result for them still. It is a good. I think that's their first point on their travels. But
yeah, it is. Yeah. They've lost all the others, but they've been in the games. And that's what I was saying about them going into it. They've been in every single game. Even if they haven't won or drawn, they've been in every single game. And I could just see them, getting something against us with the inconsistency from us. And another thing as well is why I didn't say we'd lose the game going into it is because we actually have a good record against them at home. So I felt, all right, we might not lose, but we'll get at least a draw. But I mean, it was a weird one because obviously we've got a red card. Liam Walsh, silly of him to do, I'll be honest. Yes, I'll still stand by what I say though. He should have come on way before Ruddock. I don't know why he's the first substitution coming on. Like I've said numerous times, guys, I love the guy. He's a legend at the club, but he's not at this level. Like playing championship, but for me, if you want to be a team that's progressing, trying to go back to the Premier League, he's not good enough. Yeah, he's not the answer. Sloppy in possession, I felt he was, but Walsh, stupid of him to do, I'll be honest. But at the same time, it's just one of them, isn't it? Where for me, he should have come on before anyway, in my opinion. So I don't know. I mean, silly to do, but what did you make of Ruddock coming on as well, Dad?
considering who else was on the bench, Walsh.
Yeah, Walsh. You've seen that we seem to put Nelson a bit deeper. He was there as well. We even put Woodrow in midfield in this game.
Well, we had to after Walsh got sent off, but yeah, quite surprised. I get it to a certain extent, but every time he's come on, and even in the Fulham game, and was it
Celta Vigo game as well. Again, that's only a penalty, but still,
he was giving the ball away. I don't think he's a top 6 championship player. But I also think that he's hardly played recently, and I think it is affecting him. I did feel like he probably should have moved on. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was surprised that he come on instead. Trying to manage. I think we can manage Walsh now. He'll be playing for a month and a half or something. So there's that as well. So Ruddock probably is going to come on more now. And yeah, the sending off, like Elijah lost the ball. He'd come on. We made some good tackles just before that, diving in as well. He shouldn't have done it. More so, I feel like if pitch was dry, then it might not have been that bad. But I think momentum and because the pitch was so, you know what I mean, it just pushed it. It's a wet pitch, mate, makes it worse. I think that I don't think Moses was having it too much. I think he was grinning at the geezer that was on the floor and stuff. Like, he's a very experienced player, but at the end of the day, you can't go in like that. You know what I mean? And it's like 36 seconds or something. First touch of the ball anyway. And he's off, bless him. But, everyone's, but he was a surprise signing, let's be honest. He actually has been pretty decent for us, other than that.
Every other game, yeah.
So I ain't gonna be too harsh. I'm sure he'll come back stronger and that if he keeps his place. But is what it is. You know, it didn't cost us the game at the end. We actually played better. This is what I said to you. With 10 men, we seem to be more of a team and play better, weirdly. And a lot of people saying that is because it's forward at back. And I think it's just because we are defending and we just that's what we was good at, I guess, at times in the Premier League. But, you know, making it hard to score against us at times. I know we got, you know, there was some hammerings there, but, you know, at times most of the time we was pretty decent at minimising, you know, sort of chances and things like that, or dealing with them. So it is what it is. You know, we've just got to keep plugging away. Do you know what I mean? And get a decent win. I don't think we're too bad away either. We have got a good record against Sheffield United. Yeah, they ain't lost a game yet, and this and that. But I see them. It seems like that a lot of people are still saying they haven't really played anyone in, you know what I mean, at the top.
No.
And things like that. You know, we have done very well against them pretty, you know, recently, and at their ground as well. I think beaten a couple of times.
Last 2 times we went there, we won. So.
You know, if we turn up, then of course we can beat. I'm definitely not doubting that. But I just think the momentum's a bit with them. Do you know what I mean? It's very difficult still to get a result there, but you know, you never know. I remember years ago when I was younger, I think we were bottom of the league. We were playing Middlesbrough, we were top of the league, and they went 1-0 up or something like that, and I just turned the radio off, and then I checked the final score and we beat them 5-1. Do you know what I mean? So it can happen. I'm not saying it's going to tomorrow, but it can happen. You got to roll with it. The ball to come out said that, so there's no point like booing from the first, you know, kick off, or if you go 1-0 down and things like that, because it doesn't help, does it? He shaved his beard off. He looks better with his beard off anyway, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So it must mean a little bit of business. Let's just see what happens, isn't it? Let's see what happens. Let's get into the player ratings.
Yeah, no, let's do that. Let's go into some comments as well. Yeah, Lewis, I know, right? Literally, I know. I thought, why not? Got trimmed today. Someone next to me recommended me to do it. Also, Dad, a bit of breaking news, right? We'll be happy. This is for us two. Them shirts, right?
Oh, yeah.
We've got them, Dad. We've got them.
Oh, nice.
So we just got to get them now. So, yeah, obviously, sort that out after this. But, yeah, bit breaking news. Big up to OK Football, obviously another Luton channel. Do subscribe, guys. I was on there the other day. Give my thoughts on the Oxford game. So yeah, if you are Luton, but even if you're not, you know, neutral content on there as well. Do check that out. Good to see you in the chat, mate. Hope you're well. Big up to Jamie as well. Says, all right, mate. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. Hope you're well. Big up to Luca as well. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, getting into the player ratings now. So obviously in goal, Kaminsky. Now he's my man of the match. I was debating between him and Kraus, I'll be honest, but Kaminsky's my man of the match. Done a double save in the first half. You know, Mengi cleared off the line a few times as well. But, you know, that triple save as well, proper kept us in the game. And I really feel sorry for him. I really do, guys. And yes, I support Luton, obviously. But at the same time, if I'm Kaminsky, if this continues, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in the summer. I really wouldn't be surprised if someone comes in with a decent offer for him anyway. Because it's just unbelievable, mate. It's just unbelievable. Like, the saves he does week upon week to either keep us in games or, you know, we don't lose games because of it. It's unbelievable. So, man of the match for me. Can't go too high, though, because we did concede 2 goals. Again, not his fault, but still conceded 2 goals. So, do you know what? I'm going to go. What am I going to go with for Kaminsky? I'll go with an 8.
Yeah, he's my man of the match as well. You know, I like I say, I feel sorry for the guy. It consistently makes excellent saves every game, and you know, probably if he wasn't in goal, we'd be. I know we're down there, but we'd be a lot worse off, I think. So yeah, I'm going to give it to Kaminsky 7.5, particularly that save in the first half where it deflected and he had to adjust his position and still make an excellent save. You know, it was just consistent with him. And if the defence in front of him is better, what you know, and we know he can make these saves. That's what we need. But yeah, I have to agree. 7.5 man a match.
Believe it or not, Dad, that is our first vote for Kaminsky this season. You wouldn't think that. But he's already got more than some of the players, in our opinion, so far. So just like that. So yeah, but it'd be interesting to see how many he gets. But you wouldn't think that. You'd think that more so games we're winning, we wouldn't really give it to him because he wouldn't really have to do as much. But yeah, it's one of them. Moving on to the next player, Reece Burke. I mean, I did think he was good in this game. Again, I'll still say what I say about him, though. We do need to manage his minutes. And it is a bit difficult at the moment now because if you really got there that can play there other than Real Waters, you haven't really got anyone else, in my opinion, unless you obviously change the other back two alongside him. But yeah, I thought he was really good in the game, clearing it and stuff like that. He was good again. He was getting stuck in. So for me, I'll give Burke a 7.5. I know we drew in the end.
Got a yellow card, but generally he was willing to get forward. His positioning sometimes is a bit questionable, but he got a couple of blocks in. He was involved in both goals as well because of his willingness to get forward. Like that is his natural position. So yeah, I think he's enjoying his football at the moment, and he like that proper wet football day. Some of the players love that. But yeah, I'll give him 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5. No, that's fair enough. Moving on to the next player, McGuinness. Shout out to McGuinness, by the way, guys. Obviously, he got called up for Ireland, so that's great for him. Obviously, the first time for him as well, so that's always great. Hopefully he does play. I mean, I'm not too sure because I know they've got a few experienced centre backs, but you never know. Might have to have a little check in on that when the international breaks on. But yeah, in this game, again, I mean, I think aerially he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. I mean, a few people, not necessarily me, but I know a few people have said their doubts about him position-wise. But I don't know. I think he's done all right since he's come in. I mean, the first two games I thought he was a bit shaky, but then again, first game you're gelling into things. Second game was QPR. Obviously in the league where he let the ball bounce. But other than that, I think he's done all right. He's been a threat, like you've mentioned, Dad, in the, from corners and that for us. He's forced teams to mistakes. Sheffield Wednesday giving away the penalty. The goal we did get against QPR as well, forced them into the own goal. So, I don't know. I think he's doing all right. I think he is doing all right. Obviously, he is to get a call up as well. Say what you want. Ireland, not the best international team still to get called up first time. That's always good. So for me, I will say for McGuinness, I'll go with 7.
I mean, I think this wasn't a great performance from him. I know he's saying he's good aerially and that, but the second goal felt like he probably could have done better. I'd say it's more to the fact that he's used to playing in a back four. Mengi was playing normally in that centre back position. Now he's on the other side, or they're switching or whatever. He's still getting used to it. I ain't going to be too harsh on him. You know what I mean? Obviously, saying he's still young. I have seen good stuff from him as well, already. So I'm sure he'll improve. But for this game, I'm just going to give him a 6.5.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Then moving on to Mengi, really good game from him. One of his better games this season, I would say. He's had glimpses of moments in other games, but not as much as this game for me. Clearing it off the line. He's brilliant. He was getting stuck in. It's the Mengi I sort of know, and we all know in this game. So for me, I'll give him what I give Burke, 7.5.
I'll give him a 7. I thought maybe he should have dealt better with the second goal. But that clearance off the line, his positional sense to know to get back and deal with that was good. And again, we're lucky to still have him. I just think if we had back four like him, McGuinness, but and then just bang someone, you know what I mean, like, on the left, Bell when he comes back. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, but it just be much more solid. I think it'd be so much harder to score because there'll be that extra player there. But yeah, I thought he was good. Considering we thought he was injured in the previous game, and he weren't going to play. But I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, a lot of people had their worries. Obviously, the way he come off against Plymouth as well. But yeah, I thought he'd be in. I just had that feeling that he'd be okay. And obviously he was. So that was good to see. Moving on to the next player, Doughty. I mean, decent with his crossing again. In this game. I just feel, well, what everyone feels really, we need to stop being so reliant on it, man. We've got other people that can take it. And I said it earlier, and it will come out later, by the way, guys. I did a preview of the Sheffield United fan earlier. And I was saying on that, the fact I wouldn't mind, because well, I won't get into what he said, I'll save that. But for me, I don't mind it if we've got someone on one side taking them and then someone on the other. Because the way he's got to go from one side to the other, it's just frustrating. Because it is quite predictable what we do from corners as well. We either play it to the back post towards where McGuinness is or whoever's at the back post, or they're not great deliveries because he's having to take so many. Do you know what I mean? So for me, we need to change it up in that aspect. Will we change it up? We're not going to change formation, are we? Like we said, but are we going to change that up? I hope so, man, because it's just so predictable. We got Baptiste coming back now, so that's another option, another person that can take it. I've been saying that for weeks. We've seen that the cross he got for the Celta Vigo game, goal that we scored in that game, the Burnley one as well. Played it into Doughty, who headed it on to Chong. We got Moses. We've got players that can. I reckon Clark can take it as well. We've got more than enough players, and we need to start taking other players on them for me. So yeah, for me, I'll say for Doughty, I'm going to go with 6.5.
I'll give him a 7. You know what I mean? Because he's like outlet and he's trying. And he always does. Do you know what I mean? That yellow card was a bit petty, but it's just come out of frustration. We've discussed it multiple times. Other people need to be able to take, set pieces and things like that. So, and Moses, I'm sure Moses can bang in a free kick, surely. So I'll give him a 7.
Fair enough. And then moving on to Moses, I mean, yeah, like I say, I don't think it was the most standout game from him. Well, obviously he's only had a few games anyway, but compared to like the Plymouth game, for example, obviously that was definitely his best game so far. Taking away the fact that he even scored just the chaos he was causing, really, on that right hand side. I mean, there was one good moment. Ruddock passed it into him, and we done well to get a corner out of that, I believe. But other than that, not the best. But again, you're still going to start him, because he is that experienced player that you need in the team, especially of how we're performing right now. So for me, again, I'll go with another 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. I thought he was trying, but I think the weather. I don't think he's probably not used to playing in this dank, wet. You know what I mean? He's playing with his big teams and that, where even if it does rain, it goes straight down the drain, mate. You could probably hear it under the pitch. That it's that good. But that couple chops he had in the penalty area was just class, proper class. And he's got that. He can score a goal out of nowhere. He can create a chance out of nowhere. The first goal kind of come from him as well. But I'm not going to be 6.5. I want to see him further up anyway.
Yeah,
and he was getting back defensively as well, where he could. Do you know what I mean? His position is not bad, but it's not really his business. Do you know what I mean? We shouldn't be relying on Victor Moses, one of the most famous players in the country, or whatever. Tracking back and doing that, and even he was the draft excluded for one of the free kicks as well. Do you know what I mean? I was like, geez. When they lay down and I was like, what's Moses doing down there? That's disrespect, man. You know what I mean? But it's a game, it's business, and that's what happens. You know who's going to be doing it. But I don't agree with all that anyway. Because if someone's going to score underneath the wall, they've got to have some top skills. I just don't see the point. I'd rather have that extra man as an outlet, especially him. Bombing down the wing and just like that goal we scored against Liverpool at that time. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll give him 6.5.
Yeah. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Clark. Again, good goal. Should have probably scored before that, but he did score in this game. He took his chance, his other chance that come, and he was decent. But for me, we got to play him higher if we're to use him, especially if we do stick with the two with the one. You got to put him there, on that right, or Moses. It's out of him or Moses. But if you're not going to play Moses there, you've got to play Clark there for me. And he was all right in the game. Again, could maybe be up there for a man of the match conversation. In and around it. So for me, I'll go with a 7. Yeah, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7.5. It was obviously much better. He should probably to create that space in for the first shot. He narrowly wide. That's good, and then in the box.
Good that he's having them shots.
Yeah, excellent finish. You could see him very, very vocal in this game, considering he's the captain. Some busy, but when he drops back, he's not. Sometimes he's all right defensively, but generally he's not. Is it? You know what I mean? It's not his position, so I can't really be too harsh on him. But I thought it was a much, much better performance. I'll give him 7.5.
Yeah. No, it was much better from him, definitely. Then moving on to Brown. Again, I thought Brown caused a lot of chaos in this game.
He missed out 2 players, mate.
Yeah, no, he was good again. He's looking lively, and I thought the same thing.
So you've missed out on Nakamba and Kraus.
Oh,
that's all right.
Yeah, I'll do them. I don't want to keep talking about not great results. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But no, Brown. I thought it was lively again in the game. I thought it was good. I think he probably still warrants a start tomorrow, especially with Morris being out. Obviously that's come
Chong
out.
being out. Well.
Yeah, Chong being out. I mean, I don't wish injuries on no one, obviously, but I think that Chong one could be a blessing. So I don't think it's great since the opening game of the season, anyway. Personally. So we'll see. And Brown's come in and done well, to be fair to him. So yeah, it's one of, I believe. No, he didn't. I was going to say, did he score against Sheffield United? But I don't think he did. They definitely, I swear he got an assist or something for Doughty on the first goal last season, or he did something either way. I'm sure of it. So could be a good opportunity for him again. So for me, I'll go with 7.5 for Brown.
I'll give him a 7. I thought it was decent. It's obviously the second goal where he just chilled. He's a threat, and obviously he's not up to full fitness. But at the moment, I feel he's probably has got to start. He's a threat, and I think he's better in that position than Morris is. He's got that pace. And, he's an intelligent player as well. So yeah, I thought he was for his first start for a long time. It was pretty decent, but I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. And then moving on to the CDMs, which I missed out. I'll start off with Nakamba. I mean, a few good tackles. Obviously, he was the one that, when it should have been a penalty for them, he was the one who obviously tackled them. That's my only worry about Nakamba sometimes, is he is quite clumsy. Again, people say, oh, it's a friendly, but when he done it against Sheffield Wednesday, when we played him in the friendly a couple of years, last season, I do have that's my only worry about him. However, I'd like to see him continue to start because, he is good at being in front of the defence and making it a bit more steady in that sense. But for me, if you do go with 2 in midfield, you've got to go with him and Kraus because they're both the defensive-minded ones, and it gives Clark the luxury to do what he's better at and stuff like that. But again, I'll get into my lineups in a bit. But yeah, in this game, I thought it was decent. I thought it was decent, bar that, which should have been a penalty for Oxford. So for me, I'll say 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. Like, he's definitely not the Nakamba that we know and love as yet. He still needs to get the minutes in the tank. Playing on that pitch as well, with his style of play, it didn't help him. So 6.5, and I still think, Rob Edwards come out and said we need to manage him. We need to manage. Kraus was absolutely knackered when he come off. Apparently, he went through. We'll just get onto him next, but he was getting beaten up on the pitch, basically. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, 6.5 for Nakamba.
Yeah, Yeah, talking on Kraus, obviously Kyoso took him out, didn't he? But yeah, no, Kraus in the game, like I say, close man of the match for me, but I just edged Kaminsky in this game. I felt he was really good. Like I said on the watch along, I felt when he come off, that was the difference maker for them to go on and get a result. Because like I said, I think the two was working in this game with Nakamba and Kraus. I do believe that. But I just feel as soon as he come off, the difference was made. It gave them a lot of confidence because how much easier it was for them to get in behind. But yeah, in this game, he was really good. Got off with his goal, got off the mark. Hopefully, more to come from him. And again, I would start him. Rob Edwards has obviously said it. He was just feeling like fatigue a little bit, tired. So it's nothing major, which is good. So yeah, for me, close man of the match. So I will go with a 7.7, which is a bit random, but I've gone with a few 7.5.
Yeah, I'll give him 6.5, 7.5. I thought he was very good. It looked like before you managed to get on and watch it that he broke his because he went down, and I was like, oh, no. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was annoyed about that. He's very, very feisty player. He's an intelligent player. The first goal was nipping at that player, got the ball, just passed it through to Clark. Then his finish as well, considering the conditions. I do really like him. And he had to come off. Potentially he might start. I'm not so sure, but even if we've got him on the bench, that's good stuff. We'll see. But yeah, he's looking good. 7.5. And like I say, when he come off, we replaced him with Ruddock, didn't we? The difference is stark, you know what I mean, at the moment. But it is what it is, do you know what I mean? I'm not hating on Ruddock. It is, normally, even if he played a whole game, Ruddock, he might make one or two dodgy passes, but every single pass he made pretty much, it was just what the fuck. And then he had that shot, which weren't too wide. He played a decent pass to Moses. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'll give him 7.5.
Yeah, and then moving on to Elijah. For me, again, it was another one of them. You can tell that he was fatigued, but we didn't bring Taylor on. Why? Why are we not bringing him on? I don't understand. I really don't understand. Some games he'll come on, some games he won't. Like Elijah, it's not working one up front. I'm sorry, it's not. And it will not work tomorrow. No chance. They haven't conceded in their last 5. Yeah, they haven't played anyone, stand out. But still, what are we doing? Do you know what I mean? What are we doing going forward, really? Realistically, what are we doing? Like, 2 goals we got the other day were from their mistakes. Yeah, it's great that we capitalised, but we're not exactly opening them up, are we? Like Plymouth, they were giving us chances and we weren't taking them. And Sheffield United are much more solid at the back. So we have to change it up tomorrow. Like, even if it's one tweak, we have to change something up for me, away at Sheffield United. They play 5 in midfield as well, by the way. And we play 2. So that's why I say Nakamba and Kraus, if we're to do that. Otherwise, it's not looking good, bro, as they say. So, but yeah, anyway, Elijah felt he was struggling yet again. Should have probably scored in the game again, I'll be honest. Had a few good chances. But I'm just going to go with 6.
Yeah, I'm just going to give him a 6. He was clearly knackered.
Yeah.
Particularly later on. Again, missed another chance that he probably would have buried last season. Just lacking in a lot of confidence now. Do you know what I mean? It's just needs to be managed. I think even if you drop him, you're not dropping him because you're giving him that break, giving that impetus to maybe like the pressure's off a little bit, come off the bench.
Maybe he needs what Morris had.
Yeah. And it is quite gutting that Morris isn't available for tomorrow.
Definitely.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, he is gutting about Morris because he's got a great goal scoring record against Sheffield United. Obviously, forced them into the own goals last year when we beat them 1-0, last in the Championship at their ground. He did score the goal, didn't he? Elijah played it across to him, didn't he? So, yeah, it is a blow, definitely. But moving on to the players that come on, obviously Ruddock, like we mentioned, sloppy in possession. Shouldn't have come on first for me. So,
All right.
yeah, 5. Yeah, 5. Literally, I was going to say 5.5, but I'm going to go for 5. Right, gone with the same there. Real Walters, I felt he was okay when he come on. He needed to be dropped, definitely, because he weren't so obviously great against Plymouth. Not just him, but obviously he weren't defensively. Is a bit there for the taking, I felt. But again, he's still young, still got a lot to learn. And I still think he's a really good player from what we have seen. He's still one of the best players this season so far for us, definitely. So for me, I'll go 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. I thought he brought him on to cover. Was it one of their players on the right or whatever? It was that Goodrum maybe or someone like that. It was running rings with us, and it did work. But again, he's young and he needs to be in a team that's allowing him to grow and develop more, not putting him under pressure. Because do you know what I mean? But 6.5.
Yeah, it's like when we first signed him. I thought, we'd see him on the bench more and then grow in as the season goes on. And I did think, because obviously we had Chio at the time, I thought Chio would play there a bit more. But might be Moses going forward. And I know people want to see him higher, but I've just got a feeling he's going to utilise Moses as a wing back, similar to what he did with Chio. For now, anyway, whether that might change going forward later on in the season, we shall see. Walsh, well, what do we say for this one? 0. I think that's the first ever 0 we've given someone.
You got to. What you can't.
It's stupid.
You can't. What else can you give him? Apart from a non-applicable, but you have to give him something.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe that, but he's come on. He's come on at the end of the day, innit? So I'm gonna have to agree. But yeah, Walsh's next game, we'll be hoping to go to that day after my birthday, actually, Coventry away. So that'll be the next time he's back, which is after my birthday, like I say. So 26th of October, we will see him back. So no Walsh in the derby, no Walsh against Sunderland, which big games, which I think he could have done well in, but he'll learn from that and he'll come back better, I do believe. And he was good all the other games, wasn't he? But clumsy to do. Yeah,
like Kaminsky done.
Kaminsky's done the same, yeah. Exactly.
Let's be honest.
And look how well Kaminsky's done since then.
Exactly. And that was early on in the game. And he's come out as his first red card of his career. I don't know about Walsh, probably potentially the same, maybe. I don't know. I haven't checked it up. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's one of them first red card of Liam Walsh's career. Yeah, it actually is. So, he got one for Yeovil in 2015-16. But other than that, no red cards. So yeah, he'll come back better from now, I believe. And then Woodrow obviously come on in midfield because he had to. You know what? He didn't actually do too bad there.
It was all right.
I'm going to be honest. I mean, the last 2 games he's come on, he's actually done all right, in my opinion. Especially against Plymouth, that pass to Moses. I still, worry about him taking a shot on that. But actually holding up the ball now, not too bad.
And this is why probably Rob Edwards brought him on. Do you know what I mean? Because he has got that. Yes, we like Taylor. Yes, we want to. Do you know what I mean? And he should have brought Taylor on for Elijah, especially near the end. I could see why he's bringing Woodrow on in that, especially. He was going to go up front initially, and then maybe he would have brought Taylor on later. But after that, it was like, no, I can't. So and he just dropped back to midfield, and he actually done all right in there. Like, because we can see why Nathan Jones played in there a couple of times, even though we didn't like it. But you can see why. I'll give him a 6.5.
Yeah, I'll agree. 6.5 as well. So there you go, guys. There are player ratings. It's obviously the highest rated players for both of us. Yeah, player, shall I say, was Kaminsky. Close second for Kraus. Then I would have put Mengi and then probably Clark. They're my top 4 in this game. So, yeah, man, that's that. Jackie said Kaminsky and Mengi, her man of the matches. Yeah, fair enough. Obviously, Mengi done some great clearances off the line. Kaminsky was unbelievable in this game. Double save, gave me Crystal Palace vibes, and then he makes it even better, does a triple save. Oh, it's just unbelievable, really. Ideal game for Taylor tomorrow, but he won't put him on. It actually is, in a way. And I know a few people have said this going into it because, they do, he's got that threat, isn't he, to get him behind. And they do play a little bit high, sometimes Sheffield United, sometimes, as much as their defence has been solid. It would be great to see him. Will we? I don't know. It's a weird one because 1 minute we do, like, he'll come on against Plymouth and then he won't come on. Like, you just need to change something up. Like, even if it's little, you need to, man. Whether that's the midfield, I don't mind three at the back, but it's the midfield or the thing. I don't mind two in midfield if it's Nakamba and Kraus. And then Elijah up front tomorrow by himself. If that happens, then I don't know, man. I don't know at this point. But yeah, go on, Dad. Were you going to say something then?
Going, so you can't really turn it off or anything.
Oh, mate, I don't know. Oh dear. But yeah, let's get into that game. Sheffield United. It's one of them, isn't it? I mean, like you said, we got good record there. Last two times we went there, we won. I mean, they are, expecting a win. Not comfortable, from what I've heard from a lot of Sheffield United fans. But you can't blame them, really. They haven't really played anyone standout, but it don't matter. They've played the teams in front of them. They've won. We've struggled against them sort of teams. No disrespect to them teams, but we have sort of struggled against them lower opposition sort of teams. We've either lost or narrowly beat them or drew or whatever. So it's one of them. I mean, Hamer's on fire. Even before that, he always had a good game against Luton. So obviously, the playoff final is the standout one. Oh, it's just I worry, man. I worry going into this game. I can't lie. Usually, I'm fairly confident. Even against Plymouth, I was fairly confident. A few others I've been, but this one I'm not. I'm going to be honest. And again, like I say, we've got good record there last two times, but I just think they were different times, really. I mean, Premier League one, yes, we forced them into 2 own goals, and at the time you may be thinking, okay, because they're a team that's going to be in and around the relegation battle alongside us, that could have been massive at that time. So unfortunately, it wasn't. The Championship game, that was a good win. I do remember watching that. That was really good, actually. And I think that day we had 2 up front, Elijah and Morris, and they were causing havoc. We were very dominant in that game, actually, and I was really impressed with that performance. But I can't be. With this one. I mean, this fixture in recent years is the away teams tends to win. But I don't know. I just think it's just not a lot of confidence with us at the moment. Fans doesn't seem to be it with certain players as well. Yeah, I'm not really confident going into this one, but we'll go into a bit of insight. Like I say, the last 3 meetings between Sheffield United and Luton have all been won by an away side. Last season's game ended 3-2 to Luton, 3-1 to the Blades. Luton have won their last 2 away league games against Sheffield United, having lost their previous 3 games at Bramall Lane between 1996 and 2022. Sheffield United have lost 14. Right, this one's a random but interesting one. Lost 14 of their last 18 league matches against teams whose name starts with an L. Which is pretty interesting. Winning 2 and drawing 2. Luton Town have lost 9 of their last 12 away league games, winning 1, drawing 2. Scoring more than once in just one of those games, which again, not a game we want to remember. The 4-3 loss to Bournemouth. Sheffield United boss Chris Wilder has won 5 of his last 7 league matches against Luton, winning with Northampton 3 wins, Middlesbrough 1 win, and the Blades 1 win during his career to date. So that's just great. On top of that, he definitely don't like us. The stuff he said over the season and last season. It's just frustrating. Like I say, they going into it, they play a back 5. Sorry, not back 5. Bloody hell, no, they don't. A 5 in midfield. So I just worry really looking at that. But going into it, like we always do, a bit more on everything referee, a bit more on Sheffield United and stuff. So obviously we travelled to Bramall Lane, as we all know, and it's one of them where it's an interesting one in the sense of they are doing well. Obviously they got relegated with us, finishing bottom with 16 points. Going into the season, you'd have expected us to do better, in general, but better than them as well, given that. They showed a lot of ambition for me. It's not that we didn't in the window, we did, but I just feel they started it really early, and a lot of people had a lot more confidence with what they'd done with the business to put them in a conversation for automatics. But yeah, they've had a flying start, obviously taking all 3 points against Preston, Watford, Hull, and Derby. They obviously won 1-0 during the week against Swansea, so back-to-back home games for them as well. Gustavo Hamer, who scored in playoff final, already has 4 goals to his name. Rob Edwards going into it. We know a lot about them. They have a brilliant, experienced manager where they've had a lot of success. They have a consistent way of playing and a settled team at the moment, which has helped for them. It's a big challenge for us. Bramall Lane is a brilliant place to play with a great atmosphere, so I'm really looking forward to getting there and going. After a tough night on Tuesday, we've reflected, processed, and reviewed it. It's been a really good couple of days. So I'm really looking forward to going up against them. Team news: we will be wearing the away kit, by the way. So I'm hoping to get all of them. Well, we've got the third one now, Dad. But yeah, that one I'm going to be interested to see what that looks like on the players, because sometimes you see it more on the players, even though I like it. Sometimes you see it more on the players, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is banging. So we shall see. We're wearing that tomorrow. But yeah, Baptiste is back, like you can see in the title. So that's good to hear. Again, it's the same thing every week, isn't it? It's either one positive and then one negative, or a bit of both. Negatives are obviously Chong and Morris still being out. I mean, again, I don't wish injuries on no one, but the Chong one could be a blessing in disguise. I don't think he's been on the greatest form. Morris is obviously a massive blow. It was when we found that out at Plymouth. And then obviously the other ones are still out, have been out. But yeah, last time out, obviously we won on Boxing Day. That mad vlog from home, Dad. Absolute limbs that was. But yeah, obviously Alfie Doughty gave us a lead before McBurney, their defender that I can never pronounce his name, fired the host in front after the break, and then 2 late own goals. Obviously got us the win, and that's why I remember Jacob Brown so much in that game, because he was celebrating with Doughty when Doughty scored, but I'm sure he played it to him or something. But yeah, the referee going into it will be John Brooks. 23 yellow cards and no red cards have been handed out by Brooks across his 4 games this season, including 4 yellow cards in the Europa League tie between Ajax and Besiktas last week. We last had a game ran by him when he played Man City away, where he handed out 1 yellow card. I mean, I can't really remember him in the game, if I'm going to be honest. I can just remember us giving it a go until last half hour, and Man City just done what Man City do, really, to be honest. But yeah, that's the last time we had him. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, it can't be as bad as the flipping Sheffield Wednesday one. He was awful. So yeah, that's that. I mean, after all saying that, Dad, how are you feeling going into the game?
I don't know. Something's got to change. Whether it's the formation, whether it's the performance, they're due defeat. I've looked at their results. They've got 1-0 wins. Their last game was a 1-0 win, own goal. They're well organised. They've got some dangerous players, O'Hare, Hamer. But we just need to turn up and just put it on them. Part of me is thinking that we played Burnley the first game of the season, but we had a lot of injuries, inexperience there. A couple of Nelson and Johnson started that game. This will feel more like a level game for us. I know it sounds stupid, but like when we were playing better in the Premier League, so I feel like something might just click. So I think it'll be a close game. But I think it's probably going to be a better performance. Maybe one of the better performances we've seen so far. I know a lot of people are like negative and stuff like that, but you've just got to back it, and we have got a good record against them. So I just want to see something different.
Yeah. No, I agree. Even if it's a little tweak, you've got to change something. Like you say, we
Like I
can't
said,
have one up front tomorrow.
we've got the players to cause them. So it'll be interesting.
You can't do it against. It's them for me. And again, they haven't conceded in the last 5. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they haven't played great teams, like I say, but we played them sort of teams as well, and we haven't won. Not all of them. So we just can't do it. Like, we've had 2 games. Can you not see that he's struggling? Surely, third time lucky. Surely you can see that. Do you know what I mean? Going into this game, but yeah, Jackie said
we played there, we beat them. Do you know what I mean?
It's not impossible. Right, definitely not.
We do rattle them. Let's see.
Yeah, it's like Jackie says here, dreading the lineups. I mean, I am. 2:00 tomorrow. Looking at that lineup, I'm dreading it myself. To be honest, who's where? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, you lot will know from the vlog if I'm happy with the lineup when it starts off, obviously. So we'll see from that. But yeah, moving on to the lineups that we will go with in the game. So obviously I'll start with mine. Now for me, this is what I would do. I would go in this game with like a 5-3-2, essentially. So I'd go Kaminsky in goal, obviously. One position that I can't moan about. Because he's been working there well. Back 3, I would keep it the same. And again, I know I say about managing Burke's minutes, but who else have you got? Unless you put Real Walters right centre back. But no, I just think we should stick with that. Burke was good the last game. McGuinness, stick with him. And then Mengi. Again, Mengi really good the other game. Better game from him, like I said. I'd go Doughty on the left, obviously. Moses, I would go Moses there. Again, I want to see him higher, but I mean, you could go Walters, but then you're dropping Moses, aren't you? Unless you maybe, drop Clark and then put Moses there. I don't know. But I've essentially gone with a CDM with 2 in front in the midfield, as you can see. So I've gone Nakamba and then Kraus a bit higher up. And then Clark on that right. I want to see him higher up if we're to play him. And then my 2 up front, I've gone Brown and Elijah. Now, I wouldn't mind if it was Taylor and Elijah, but that's not going to happen. Let's be honest now. I'll be very surprised. Brown has been good, to be fair to him. And Elijah, he just needs the support. He needs the support, man. So go with Jacob Brown for me alongside him. And that could be a deadly threat, I reckon, if it was like that against Sheffield United. I reckon that could cause quite a few problems. So, yeah, that's my lineup that I would go with in this game. As for your lineup, Dad, your lineup is this.
Yeah, so I'm going with what we normally go with because I can't see much changing. So the back 3 obviously going to be the same for me. Walters would be. I'd be putting him on that side. Doughty goes without saying. And then the reason I haven't started Nakamba and Kraus is because I feel like he was saying that the knackered, Nakamba's not quite up to speed yet. I could see it changing. Do you know what I mean? But with the captain situation, I feel like Clark will be again. But I'm putting Moses up further up for me. I feel like Walters and Burt between them. Do you know what I mean? They need to be able to cope defensively. And then Brown, I feel he deserves to start. And who else are we going to put there, really? And then it's going to be Elijah again. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think that will be roughly the lineup. Maybe Nakamba, like I said, or Kraus. But I think Baptiste is going to start, definitely. I think we've missed him. I think he will start. And he's defensively a little bit, isn't he? But he can get forward as well. So I just think he'll be ready to go, and we'll start him. So yeah, I'm going with that. I think that it'll be something like that. I'm happy to have a 3-5-2 like yours is, but I just can't see it. Even in Elijah's picture, he looks knackered. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was thinking earlier.
But I think Brown could be effective. And then we have them options on the bench then, because if we've got Nakamba on the bench and we've got Kraus on the bench, depending on how we do, they're still good options, aren't they? So I think it'll be something like that, personally. I'd love to see Taylor. I don't want to see Taylor start instead of Elijah. I'd rather see him alongside him. But we'll see what happens. But I've got a feeling it'll be something like that. And they need to update Moses' picture as well.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I noticed that. I don't know why he ain't got one.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. That is what we saw, isn't it? Essentially, that front three at Plymouth. Obviously when the changes were made and stuff, and it did work to a certain extent. Obviously, Elijah come off for Woodrow, but it's something like that. Yeah, there's much more chance of obviously what you've gone with happening for sure. I just feel if we do that, we need at least one of the CDMs, and it probably most likely will be Nakamba because, obviously, Rob Edwards said Kraus is knackered and that. I don't know.
But maybe Moses can start in where Brown is, and then Clark will go where Moses is, and then we bring Nakamba in.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be all right. I'll be happy with that. Well, happier.
It'll be something along them lines, I would have thought, unless he just totally switches it up and blind sides all of us. But I can't see it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We shall see what happens there. But that's the lineup. It is that time. Do get in yours if you haven't already. Score predictions. How are you feeling about this one, Dad?
Well,
a good record can continue.
I'm just going to keep the faith. I've got to. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, something's got to change. The board have obviously spoke to him, and they said they're sticking with him. But he's got to prove that out on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? I've just got a feeling that we'll make it 3 out of 3 against them. Narrowly, luckily, maybe, but a much better performance. So I'm going to go over 2-1 Luton win.
Jeez, got the confidence, Dad. As for me, unfortunately, I'm going to say a 2-1 loss. I do think we can break their record of, not scoring. Not conceding. I feel, even if we do play one up front, we could score from a corner or something. Because that is our strong point. Mengi obviously done that against Millwall. I think we can do that, but I just think they'll beat us. Because I think we'll stick with the same thing and won't even do a little tweak. And, yeah, they'll beat us. 2-1, I'm going to say. I wouldn't be surprised if Hamer scores again against us.
No, definitely not. Yeah, quality.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the goals he's been scoring this season anyway have been unbelievable. So, yeah, that's what I reckon. 2-1 to them. Jackie says 2-2. I'm backing us to get a draw. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. By the way, Jackie said I would have Brown, Taylor, Moses up top. That wouldn't be bad. But again, unfortunately, just can't see Elijah being dropped.
We need a positive result going into the international break.
That game.
We do. So I feel that, we've got to. Don't get me wrong, if we lose this game and smash Watford up 4-0, I'll take that. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah.
We've got to have a little bit more momentum we have. And that, if beating them, who are undefeated, would give us.
Yeah, the players, they have to be up for this game. If they're not up for this game, then
and hopefully
that's how you know we're in the mud.
Bad as it has been as well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm backing it. Our goal scorers are Moses and McGuinness.
Do you know what? I'm going to go with McGuinness myself because I feel, like I say, them threats he's causing from corners, I feel he will get on the end of one eventually and score. And I think it could be tomorrow. And, obviously he's had a good week, got called up for Ireland, so I can see him scoring for us. You know what? I'm going to say he does it. So, yeah, that's what I reckon as well, McGuinness. To get our goal, like I say, I can see us scoring from a corner. So I'll say it's McGuinness that does that. Obviously, Jamie is a Sheffield United fan, as you can tell. He's gone 2-1 to Blades. Yeah, it's one of them. Majority of fans, from what I've seen, are not obviously underestimating us to saying, it could be a tight game. And Sheffield United, they're not actually really clicking up front. It's either a bit of magic where they're scoring from Hamer, for example. So for me, I do think we can make it a tight game. I just worry about our lineup, to be honest, because we can compete with it. Sheffield United definitely. Both got top squads. In the Championship. So I've no doubt about that. It's just the way we're playing. We just need to change something, even if it's little. But I just don't think we will. So yeah, I have to say a Sheffield United win personally due to that. Taylor and Brown, Jackie's goal scorers. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if Taylor had a run out, that would be good, and maybe that would be a statement. That would be a conversation going into that Watford game if he scored and Elijah didn't again. Definitely, in my opinion. But yeah, hopefully by then we've got Morris back as well, more competition. So we shall see. But yeah, any final things, Dad? You want to sound anything?
Nah, just keep the faith, mate, and then just see what happens. That's all we can say really at the moment. Do you know what I mean? If things don't change, then the board can back all they like. Do you know what I mean? Fans will end up turning and their demand more than they should do. So let's see what happens. But this is a game that you've got to be competitive. You've got to give it. Do you know what I mean? Because you got relegated from last season. They're up there. They'd be doing a lot better. I know they haven't played, top tier opposition, but if you look at some of their games, they haven't torn anyone apart really. Do you know what I mean? Haven't played, teams that are capable, and we are capable. We just need to show that. So it's going to be an interesting one for me, but I'm still looking forward to it. It's my team, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Still get up for it, and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm going to it, so I will be there. So yeah, see how that goes. And also, well, no one that watches my stuff don't go on the coach as far as I'm aware, but they're reading out my predictions tomorrow across the whole of the Championship. So yeah, unfortunately, you missed the Championship show. Gone with us to lose and Watford to win. So some people might not like it, but that's what I think in it at the end of the day. But yeah, we shall see. So, and also there will be a preview. Probably get it out around about after the Leeds game. I did with a Sheffield United fan earlier, going into it a bit more on their thoughts on the game as well. And then obviously, like I say, I'll be there tomorrow, match day vlog. Hopefully there's no drama like Plymouth getting out and trying to find where I've actually got to go. Because if that is the case, I can do a quick reaction, but I'll probably just add that on the vlog as well. Just do it all in one. And then if Harry's up for it, I'll see if he wants to do a reaction like he did it against Preston. And yeah, by the way, guys, it's a bit of a jinx, but every time I've gone with Harry or even watched a game with him, Luton Man United last season, we haven't won. So that's just not great. Yeah, maybe I need to stop bringing him, but nah, joke aside. So I'll be there with Harry. So yeah, man, if anyone's there, obviously come over if you want and say hello and stuff. And yeah, hopefully we get something, but I'm not too confident, to be honest, but we shall see. But yeah, like I say, that'll be coming out later. Preview of the Sheffield United fans, so check that out. Check out the Championship show from earlier if you haven't already. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. Enjoy wherever you are watching from yourself. And yeah, if anyone's interested, the Academy are currently losing, unfortunately, to Burnley. So we might lose to Burnley again, which is just not great, is it? So yeah, that's that. But yeah, it's good they do. Before we end it, it's good they do them games at Kenilworth Road. It's good for them, to experience it, and hopefully one day they'll be part of the team. I'll be sick. Get into the first team like a lot of our players have, especially recent years as well. So we shall see. But yeah, big up to everyone that's tuned in, and until tomorrow, I'll see you lot in a bit. As for a hat show, Sunday or Monday, we'll be back again, and we'll just react to this. So then when we come back, we can get straight into that Derby game, and hopefully there's a bit more confidence. But I don't know at the moment. So we shall see. But yeah, big up yourselves. Take care and peace.
Peace.